G'day folks, Scott, the mad scientist from Wurth, here today on a Halloween special to talk to you about anchors. More importantly, I'd like to talk to you about anchor fixing. Let me take my mad scientist gloves off and let's have a chat. Okay, so what I'd like to talk to you about is anchor fixing. Now, what I have is a very popular anchor called a fixed anchor, a wedge anchor, a true bolt, a through bolt, has many different names over the journey. What it is a solid anchor with a little ring on the bottom of it designed to fit into a hole, and what this ring does at the bottom is it spreads and it locks that anchor into the hole. On the top you also have a nut and generally a washer, and that is what you fix your piece of material to fix it onto the ground, into the ceiling, what have you. So that is what we call a fixed anchor, true bolt, wedge anchor, through bolt, okay? Now, in the past, you might have had one of these, trusty hammer. Now, generally, when you've drilled your hole into the ground, you would use a hammer and just smash your anchor into the hole. Now, that creates all sorts of problems. As you can see, the thread on this anchor comes right up to the top. And that means if you're striking the top of the anchor with a hammer, you can deform it, you can deform the threads. Most people will say, yeah, that's all well and good, Scott, but I just wind the nut up to the top and then I smash the nut with the hammer. That also creates problems. You could end up cracking the nut if you're striking it too hard. You could wedge it onto the threads, creating all sorts of problems. So what's the answer? Well, we've got it here for you, ladies and gents. It's called an anchor setting tool. Now, what this is a solid piece of metal, and it has what we call an SDS plus shank. So it's designed to go into your hammer drill. Now, what I have attached to the hammer drill at the moment is a concrete drilling tip, or a quadro bit, so it's got 4 cutting heads, and that also has an SDS plus shank on it. So that's designed to drill and hammer at the same time to give you ease of action into a concrete slab or what have you. Now, this tang on the back of this setting tool has exactly the same exactly the same mechanism on the back of it to sit straight into your SDS plus chuck. So that's that part. Now, on the front, you have like a scalloped out piece on the front. Now, what that designed to do is to sit on the top of your anchor, and this tool is for M6 to M16 anchors, okay? Now, I have an M8 anchor here, just as an example. So your setting tool is designed to sit on the top of that anchor, and then you let the hammer drill do all the work, okay? No longer are you having to strike an anchor with a hammer. You just rest the tool on top of the anchor and it just gives it the same amount of pressure each stroke, and it drives the anchor into the hole to the required depth. So on the end of it also is some very, very fine, what I would say, ridges on the inside of that tool, and that just helps to lock that anchor into position, stops it from spinning, stops it from rotating, stops it from getting damaged, and just locks it into place. So this is a fantastic product, but you know, the proof is in the doing, not in the saying. So what do you say we try this out on some anchors and we show you exactly what it can do? I'm looking forward to this. So there you go, folks. The proof is definitely in the doing. No longer are we in the Stone Age with having to smash anchors into the ground with a hammer. You can use your anchor setting tool, as I said, M6 to M16 anchors. Just sit it on top of the anchor and it will just drive it straight into the hole. First time, every time. I mean, what a fantastic tool this is. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And remember, our anchor setting tool is ready for work, and have a happy Halloween.